Hello there! In this video, I will share with you some of the sewing machines I bought priced under $100. I sew, experiment, test, and tinker with sewing machines as a hobby. I do not sell or sew for others. So the cheaper the better, as I pretty much goop around with these machines. Sometimes I buy machines with defects and I rehabilitate them. But I never buy a machine to have it serviced. I figure it out until I couldn't. Each machine is a case study for me, and that's why I have so many. In the interest of time, I will only talk about the one that has a price story that's worth sharing. First machine cost me $50 and the year was 2006 from a Salvation Army parking lot. I was walking towards the store and a lady, perhaps she was a dealer, offered to sell me this machine. I thought, why not? Well, that was a horrible idea. Oh my god, this machine tortured me for years. Part of it was this was my first serger and I didn't know what I was doing. Also, it didn't come with a manual.
Oh no!
And the second reason is, this is not a good machine. It's just okay. And of course, in 2006, YouTube was not what it is today. Very few videos about sewing, especially sergers on overlockers. I was just on my own for years. To say that this machine was stressful to use is an understatement. It has so many idiosyncrasies. The layout inside is different from a typical serger because you thread this from the right side of the machine. Also, the differential feed is on the front and there's two sliders inside that has a couple of functions. Anyway, the thread runaway is very common on this machine. I got over my fear of this machine only after at least 10 years. For first-time users of sergers and overlockers, a bad machine can really ruin your creativity. Careful about buying sergers offered at a parking lot. Stranger danger! Second machine is a Singer commercial grade. I got this from an acquaintance. I paid $80 and her reason for selling this is this machine is way too fast for her. Now, after a few years of living with this machine, I realized she got it wrong. Yes, this is a speedy machine, and it also makes a sewing sound that is almost hectic. And for some people, it can contribute to sewing stress. For first-time users, something as trivial as a sound can make or break your relationship with the machine. It can trigger frustration, and some even give up. But here's my conclusion. You see, she never really learned to understand how to use the foot pedal. I learned how to slow down or speed up, and that took time and practice and a variety of fabrics. Didn't happen overnight. She wanted to replace this machine with a much slower machine. Well, the previous owner was so done with this machine, she even gave me lots of accessories and a really nice extension table that retails over $100. Very nice. I felt like she gave me money back in my pocket. The takeaway? Don't judge a machine quick after only a few projects. Give it a lot of jobs. Then you make your conclusion. Next, this machine I paid $50. I got it from a Gap school. It's a special school for teens and young adults. This is a rescue machine as the place I bought it from burned after a few months. This model, by the way, is very underrated by Pfaff, German design. What's different about it is, as lightweight as it is, it has a strong piercing power. It can sew 8 layers of medium denim, can sew every day and has a quiet motor. Also, starting to sew with it, it's almost always snag-free every time. Some machine give you trouble on the first few stitches, not this one. I highly recommend this one. Seek this out use. For those seeking an easy-to-use and reliable machine. This is a great combination of strong motor and advanced feed system. Sewing from thin to thick fabric is a smoother experience compared to other machines out there. The takeaway? By buying this machine, I save it from the fire. Next is a baby lock. This was a super new looking machine when I got it, complete with case and all the accessories. And I paid $80 for it. This is the price of the machine, brand new. A friend of mine sold it to me. She was looking to replace her old Viking Husqvarna similar to this. And she thought this would be a good replacement. Of course, Husqvarna, Baby Lock, two names that are very popular. Huge difference. The Husqvarna that she wanted to replace is a multitasking machine for light and heavy use. Well, this Baby Lock, I would say, is great for a 13-year-old learning how to sew. It's okay as a backup or a travel machine. If this is your only machine, just use it occasionally. It will croak on you if you use it every day. Some days, if I want a sewing experience that is zen, quiet, predictable, I use this machine. And this is the sleep house dress that I made. The takeaway? Husqvarna and Baby Lock makes really good machines. But note that both brands also sell a variety of models that cater to different skills and needs. Next machine, a friend who volunteered at a non-profit thrift store offered to sell this to me for $5. I asked what's wrong with it. She said, the side bobbin is busted. I took it home, ended up using the second spool, so the cam lid tends to stand up if I want to use this. And it's fine. 1967. This machine used to be a star product. It's a touch and sew bobbin system, by the way, where it winds the bobbin in the same place. I don't like the bobbin winding in the same place. It's just weird to use. But for $5 made in the USA, I'm glad I got to experience sewing with it. There is a whole backstory about the best of the best engineers and machinists in the early 1960s were recruited to work for Singer factory in the South to make this highly engineered series of machines. The takeaway? There was a time when real human hands assembled sewing machines. My next machine is only $25, but with a catch price. A Bernina overlocker, posted on Craigslist. Sure, I'll buy a $25 overlocker. I love fixing sergers. Some days, I'm looking to solve a problem. Yeah, I'm one of those that is born with a hole in the head. So if it happens to be a broken machine, I'll take my chance. Anyway, I came to pick it up, glanced at it briefly, and I handed my $25 to the owner. But the lady said she won't take my money. She said it's free. She only listed it for $25 to discourage people from reselling it. She didn't want my money. So we got talking, and that her mother gave it to her, and that this machine terrified her, and so done with it. Now with the purchase, she gave me 2 grocery bags full of serger threads, probably worth over $100. In fact, I had so many threads, I had to give some to Goodwill. Now, my verdict, months later. I got to understand why the previous owner had such miserable experience. This is, by the way, based from my experience with using other machines. This Bernina brand was designed in Switzerland but made in Japan. Those two powerhouse country, oh my. Mechanically, this is a successful product and it still works even after 3 decades. But The user experience is awful. To thread the lower looper alone, you have to pass through too many hoops and hooks, and everything's too tight to thread. And the manual also is very big on certain details. Details with an S, so it's more than one. So threading it is awful experience. You also have to learn the cadence of your foot pedal to prevent runaway threads. It will ruin your day if you don't know what you're doing. But it's a good machine if everything is going great. It has its own quirkiness, and somehow, to me, it's unforgiving compared to other overlockers out there. So I get it now. The previous owner was so traumatized. Poor lady. And to show you, I made this dress on this machine. Not bad for $0. She gave me money on my pocket. I got more due to the bags of serger that she gave me for free. The takeaway. Thank you to this awful designable machine that paved the way. Yes, it paved the way for better and more improved sergers and overlockers that we enjoy today. Next machine, I bought this from eBay for around $50 including shipping. I was going to give it to my niece, but I changed my mind. I give her something else. This is a simple machine. How simple? You cannot change the width and you cannot change the length. What you see is what you get. And most sewers don't like that feature. But this Janome sews the most precise stitches. Although it does not like knits or slinky fabrics, it can sew many layers. It is so well calibrated. I'm so amazed how precise this is, and the tensions are always perfect top and bottom. But when do you really need to change your tension? If you want to change your needle size, your thread size, your fabric kind, and the change of layers. But this one, even if you do those things, it's surprisingly precise and does not need a lot of tweaking. It just works. And you cannot change the length and width of the stitches, but other than that, it's very, very good machine. My takeaway? There are machines out there that is a constant struggle to get the correct tension. I think it starts from the factory. If it's a well-calibrated machine, it should be of little problem. The catch is the more bells and whistles a machine has, the more it requires constant adjustments. It can happen also that two exact machine models came out from the factory on the same day but may have two different performance issues. My last machine is a Kenmore. I featured this on my other video about slant foot sewing machine. I have a real buyer's remorse on this one, but it's not what you think. Okay, years ago, I walked into a thrift store, saw this on the floor with a bobbin assembly detached. I carried this heavy thing to the register and asked for the price. The cashier said, $15. That's too much. So I carried it back to where I found it. I was in a hurry, walked out of the store immediately. As I stepped out of the door, the cashier yelled at me and said, $10. I turned around. $10? Still too much money for what could have been a junk. I wasn't sure. Didn't want any machine. But okay, I bought it. I still remember my drive home. I was not happy to buy this machine. At that time, I had another vintage Kenmore, same era, but low shank. The first time I sat down to figure this machine out, it took half the day just to fix the bobbin issue. Oh my god, I was scolding myself. Anyway, I got it resolved. Months after that, I slowly realized that this is not an ordinary machine. It's a slant foot, high lip shank, and it can sew whatever you can fit under its presser foot. In fact, I'll give you this example. Here I sewed 25 layers of thin cotton. I mean, I have to assist it to start the first stitch, but it can sew it. Nobody really wears a garment that's 25 layers. That's not practical. So I'm just showing you how powerful this machine is. My point is, this is a totally different breed of vintage machines that's sold out there. Also, the heavy weight of the machine enables it to sew thick, heavy fabrics with effortless stability. So this project hammock that I made, heavy and cumbersome to sew because it's so big, but the machine absolutely sewed it like an industrial machine. The high shank made the sewing more efficient because of its striding action. So impressive. I love it so much I gave my other Kenmore machine to my friend. Wow, I felt like I got a real heavy-duty price for $10. So this is one purchase I wish I didn't complain. That's my buyer's remorse. Should have been more. And the store ultimately closed. Probably for hagglers like me. Maybe it's the pandemic too. The takeaway? It's not good to be this cheap sometimes. So to conclude this video, these are just some of the machines I choose to feature. I didn't want to make this video too long. Is it just me, or has everyone noticed that when you walk into a sewing machine dealerships or browse for prices of new sewing machines online, they are so expensive? There's so many sales pitches out there, online, everywhere you go. Spend, 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 spend. I am here to balance what's out there, that it's okay to be frugal and save money and not be so emotionally driven when it comes to spending money.